2017 F-150s are up to $10,000 off, or get 0% financing and trade assistance at Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Stop this surge. Call Mike Birch.
0% with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. Good morning, 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. It is a Monday morning, the 26th day of June. We do appreciate you tuning in with us this morning here on the Big Dog. Well, today, let's take a look at the weather forecast, see what we got going on here, for Wayne and surrounding counties. Variable cloudiness today, probably more clouds than sun, 30% chance of showers. High today in the mid-80s, around 86 degrees, 30% chance of evening showers and cloudy. Low tonight, well, let's see here. Low tonight's going to be around 70, so around 86 today, 70 tonight, and then tomorrow, 40% chance of showers, the high near 88. The Ottawa River level is at, let's see here, 7.2 feet and rising. Currently here in southeast Georgia, we have 74 degrees. Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM in Jessup. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage, located out here on the Waycross Highway, by Jessup, also brought to you by Republic Services, and by Murphy Builder Supply on North East Broad Street in Jessup. All right. Good morning, Bob. Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, had a good time. It's always good to see family. So, got to see all my sisters. All my sisters on hand for the graduation. So, got to see my niece graduate from high school. I said, very talented dancer, going on the dance scholarship to William & Mary. So.
Oh, wow. What kind of dance?
Dance, I guess.
Dance. Is it ballet type dance?
No.
Is it modern dance? Is it?
I just know it's dance. She's on a dance team.
You haven't seen a video of her or seen her dance or anything?
I've got a picture.
You got a picture of her dancing, but that don't show too much, does it?
I don't know what kind of dance. Dance is dance.
Dance is dancing. It's dance. All right, we know that she dances. All right, so she's going to a scholarship where now?
William & Mary.
William & Mary on dance.
She's staying in the state, so in Virginia. So I think it's 2 hours from her house. So
okay.
Got some other niece that's currently she's going to be a junior in South Carolina. So the Gamecock was on hand. So and like I said, my nephew's a big Florida fan, so it was fun watching Florida LSU. Oh, I'm going to miss Florida LSU. They're battling this week. They start tonight. First game of the College World Series. Like I said, my nephew and his dad, big Florida fans. My sister graduated from LSU, so it'll be interesting to watch that. But,
a lot of different SEC teams represented in your family, right, Bob?
Yeah, we got the whole conference represented. So.
So you got one going to South Carolina now, right? Yeah, and then you got the LSU, and you got the Florida, and you got Georgia.
So my brother-in-law graduated from Florida. My sister graduated from LSU. They're married. I graduated from Georgia. My other sister graduated from Georgia. I said my older sister graduated from West Virginia. So
okay,
we got it pretty much covered.
And then you got one of your nieces going to South Carolina.
South Carolina, right? She'll be a junior this year, but she was
junior already.
That's what I said. Already a junior. Time flies.
Yeah,
but it was good. I said all my sisters were on hand. Got some pictures, so it was good.
Just a good family get together, huh?
Family get together. Yeah.
All right. So you're back. It's the end of June. I guess the conditioning and everything's going well with the football program.
Up to date. Like I said, we had another 7-on-7 this past weekend. Wayne County won the trophy once again. So beat up on Ware and Calvary Day and Richmond Hill and a couple other schools. So that was good to see. They're 2 for 2 in the 7-on-7 competition. So
okay,
got that offense working pretty good. So it's going to be fun to watch. And I said, I told people, I'll say it again, if you haven't got your season tickets yet, you want to get in line to get them because it's going to be a fun season in football. So,
it's going to be the greatest show in South Georgia.
August 25th against West Lawrence, 61 days from today. So be here before you know it.
Okay. Well, good. Well, what's going on with the Racker Williams Recreation Center? Did folks from the city sit down with the county and say, here's what we need to do, or did just something happened without one party knowing? It seems like an unusual situation.
A lot of miscommunication, a lot of confusion. But again, discussions are underway, and there's a lot of discussions on what's going to take place at that location. There's still some thought they don't want it out there, but there's still some people in the city who would like to see the pool built back at that area.
There's not enough room there, Bob.
They said they can make room. They can do parking and everything else, but especially the downtown, some people in downtown want it, especially a person that just built a movie theater. They got several ice cream shops right there. You could have kids' days every summer where kids come down there, get back to the Swampland Festival.
What would you move out of there to put an Olympics, an 8-lane pool there?
I don't know. I'm just saying there's some sentiment. The city and the county have had some discussions where the city would like to invest and keep it in that location.
Keep it in the location. Something would have to be moved out, maybe the old tennis courts or something like that, to be able to put it in there. You just have to do some rearrangement if you're going to put it there.
They'd have to have, there's a lot that they have that they can have parking. Like I said, the discussions.
There's a lot across the street.
There's been discussions, but like I said, nothing's been set in stone.
Okay.
But I know there's been some communication, but how the county turned the power off without the city knowing, I don't know. Saying all that, like I said, Mike Deal said he got all those calls by people who had rented that facility, and he told them the city doesn't have that facility anymore. You got to go through the rec department of the county. So anyway, they kept the water on, and the county turned the power off, but they turned it back on. But like I said, the frustration on the city work session was that they really don't know what's going on. But apparently, Mike and Mike have been in conversations. Mike Roberts, the chairman of the commission, and Mike Deal, the city. But I said I went to the pool meeting last week, and they had a discussion about the pool, and that was the gist of the conversation, that nothing's been set in stone. Herschel Harris has been put in charge of looking at what type of pool, what the costs are, where to build it at. There's been that discussion. Everything needs to go out to the recreation, because it'd be easier for the recreation department to have everything at the rec center.
Everything at one spot.
But there's other people who would just like to see it back where it was.
Okay. So they got to work that out. Pros and cons of both, right?
Like I said, the main thing, what both sides have stated that hasn't taken place yet, there needs to be a meeting between the city and the county together to hash out the details. So that hasn't been set yet, but that's what most people believe needs to take place. There needs to be a meeting of the minds with both the city and the county, come together, work it out, and hash it out, and come to some sort of sentiment on what they want done.
Okay.
Where's it going to go? What's it going to, But like I said, these meetings with the pool, like I said, nothing, like Herschel said at the meeting, nothing's been set in stone because nothing's been decided just yet.
Nothing's been decided. You got to come up with funding. You got to come up with plans.
I thought that it was going to the Bill Morris Park area, but like I said, there's this group of people. There's just this idea that they'd like to see it put back possibly where it was, that they could build an Olympic-sized pool right there with parking, have it right there in downtown Jessup, bring back the Swampland Festival, which was a big event. Like I said, they could have, during this time of year, you could have Kids Day every Thursday or every Friday where kids come, and for a certain price, they get to go to the pool, they get to go to the movies, they go to get ice cream, and the whole, there's a group of people.
So it's a big downtown economic issue to keep it at the Crack Orleans Recreation Center.
There's just a group of people who would like to see it put back where it was.
Okay.
And there's other people who would like to see it. So
put out
nothing's
the other part.
Nothing's set in stone. But like I said, and what needs to take place is a meeting between the two governing bodies, and those decisions need to be hashed out and clarified and put in stone. Like I told Herschel, the frustration for the community is nothing's been moving forward. They said it was a priority, the pool. Well, where's the priority? No pool last year, no pool this year. Looks like no pool next year. So until you get a plan in place, what type of pool, what's the cost, how are you going to fund it? All those simple questions need to be answered. No questions have been answered as of yet, because there's still this discussion on where will the pool actually be built, and what type of pool are you going to build, and how much does it cost, and where does the funding come from? Like I said, they're still talking to they said there's possible federal grants out there, possible state grants out there. All those avenues need to be investigated, researched, discussed, and all that's taking place. Again, Herschel's working around the clock and getting all these bid prices and views on what type of pool. Is it a 6-lane pool? Is it an 8-lane pool? Is it a 10-lane pool? Is it what type of pool? And it's amazing how much pool cost and what different types of pools cost. So there's just a lot going on behind the scenes. But the main thing is there's seemed to be that lack of communication. The county made that motion to just shut it down and turn the electricity off and all that. But that was a problem because people had already rented that building.
Yeah.
So.
As I mentioned before, the facilities down there are used on a regular basis. The big building, the Arts and Crafts building, the recreation area for the kids, all that area down there is. I mean, a lot of folks like to go down there and park in front of the shade trees and read. It's an area that a lot of folks like to go to.
Seems like there's good communication between the city manager and the chairman of the commission. They seem to get along pretty good. But like I said, like they agreed at that meeting, they're both at this meeting. They just need to get everybody together and hash it out and go back and forth and decide once and for all. First of all, where it's going to be built. Second, what type of pool is going to be built. Third, how much is it going to cost? And fourth, who's funding it?
Ooh, that's right. Where the money comes from. It's always about the money. Always about the money. Follow the money trail, you follow the story.
But in the meantime, you got the piranhas, again, still going to a private person's pool. And it just, you got that. You got the schools,
Schools.
And also that's been discussed as well. If you get everybody to the mind, the school get involved. They got a swim team. So they said that's still a possibility. That's still in the works. It's just a matter of all these meetings are taking place behind the scenes. Nothing's been taking place where everybody can come and just hash it out. So,
do you know of any other high school around that has a pool on their facilities anywhere? I don't know if I've ever been to a high school where I've seen
I'm not really
pool there at the school.
I'm sure.
Is there a pool at the school? If anybody out there knows where a high school in this area has a pool at the school, text it to us.
I'm sure the swim team knows because they go to these competitions. But
text us to us at 912-427-3711. If you have any questions or comments, that's how you get a hold of us. 912-427-3711 during the Butch and Bob show.
Everybody knows we've got talented athletes everywhere, and we've got talented swimmers. And they said it's just amazing when they go to these district and state events how well they do, considering they have no facility.
Imagine what they do at the facility.
That's what the comment was at this meeting. Just imagine what they would do if they had a year-round facility where they could use it. So,
if anybody happens to have $1 million lying around somewhere they're just not using, that's just collecting dust somewhere, please donate it to the Wayne County Pool Fund, and so we can have ourselves a pool that can host any event that any of our other. That the Waycross can, that Douglas can, that Moultrie can, that Tifton can, that Statesboro can, that we can be on the par with the rest of the counties around us.
Well, I said the reason nothing's really been done is because there's still that sentiment that they could possibly just go in there and do it at the old site. There's still some people who would like to see that happen.
I'd like to see the plans on that. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't, but I'd like to see where the plans were, where you could have enough parking and you could have all that to put a facility like the ones that are around us in some of these other counties, that it could be. It just seems like to me something have to be taken away, but I don't know. I'd have to see the plans.
Well, the plan also, if it does take place, the city's willing to put money towards that plan.
So that helps if you got it there, because the city will go in with it.
If it's going to go to Bill Morris Park and the county's going to do it, the city's pretty much like, we're not in this process. So that's, and like I said, it always comes down to money.
It always comes down to money.
So if the city's willing to put, say, so much money towards the building of the pool, then the county might think that might be a good idea.
All right, somebody just texted in that Camden County, which does not surprise me. Camden County has a pool on their facilities there.
Surprise.
It's amazing what U.S. Navy money can do.
That didn't surprise me.
It didn't surprise me at all.
Should have known that.
Should have been Camden.
I mean, driving by that school, you could have figured there's a pool in there somewhere. As big as that place is.
Oh, boy. But Camden has one.
I guess the New Brunswick school didn't do it. I mean, they just built that New Brunswick High School, which is really nice.
Where's their full facilities over there?
I guess they use the YMCA. I don't know.
I don't know what they use over there. Yeah. I don't know what they use.
But hopefully the city and county can set that meeting up, and eventually. But I think they want to get everything else. Like I said, Herschel was doing all this research on what type of pool, how much did they cost, Right. So I said they're still looking for that $1 million donation too.
That's right. You got one to just slide around collecting dust.
They said they'd be glad to take that.
They'll name the pool after you too, probably. Okay. Must compare us to similar sized communities. This is what somebody just texted in, okay? Must compare us to similar-sized communities. It was reported that a total of 13 people came in the last 3 weeks of the Crack Williams pool was open to the public. The cost is enormous to maintain. The size of pool is discussed. Taxpayers need more information. Decide the cost is worth it for a swim team. Well, you have to decide that with everything. You know, is the cost worth it for the athletes here with the Piranhas team, or do we just close up the Piranhas team, or do we close up the high school swim team, and do we close up the recreation part of it? You know, that's the thing about it is are you building a pool to be a money maker, or are you building a pool to increase the competitiveness of the Piranhas recreation swim team, the high school swim team, and do you provide a recreation area for the citizens of Wayne County only now, but also 20, 30, 40 years in the future to go to? That's what you have to take a look at. Is if you look at it, well, we're going to build this thing. If we're not going to build it, if it's not a money maker, or do we build it as we do any other facilities around here as a way to provide recreation for the citizens of Wayne County and also to increase the competitiveness of our athletes? Those are questions you have to have answered.
I think that decision's already been made. They already said that the pool's a priority. They're going to build a pool. The question is where they're going to build it, what type they're going to build it. Like they said, it's one thing to build it. The question is who maintains it after you build it. That's anybody has a pool in their backyard can tell you.
It's quite a bit of money to maintain one.
It's an expensive process just to maintain a pool in your backyard. Imagine what a county pool is.
Eight or 10 lane pool costs to maintain. But how many months of the year are you maintaining that on a regular basis? You start. Well, the thing about it is maybe you start
year round. I said you get year round. You get your senior Olympics and things like that.
But you can't use it when it's like 50, 60 degrees, 40 degrees outside.
It is if you have an indoor facility. We talked about possible an indoor facility.
Well, now you're really getting expensive there if you go into an indoor facility and heated pool and stuff like that. If you use the pool, let's say from April through September. Let's say 6 months out of the year, and then the other 6 months you don't use it. But if it's going to be an indoor heated thing, you ask anybody who's got a heated pool, you use a lot of propane gas or natural gas to be able to heat one of them things, especially that size. I've never known a pool that size being heated before.
Hopefully the decision will be made soon.
Someone just said the high school, and why is this? I don't know. But I remember this when someone texted, the high school team swims in the winter, it have to be heated or covered. So if this high school team is going to use it, it's going to have to be heated or covered. I guess that's if they're going to have meets here in Wayne County. If you're going to have meets, but where's the high school team currently practice? If they have, why do you have swim meets in the winter? And I know they do that. I'm glad this person reminded me of that.
That's when the swim team competes. But
I guess if you have one covered and you heated the room up a little bit, it helped keep the water a little bit warmer.
I'm not positive. I believe they went and practiced in Hinesville at the YMCA.
At the YMCA over there?
I believe that's what they did.
Okay. Well, so if you're going to have one, if the high school swim team is going to use it, it's going to have to be covered. Okay. So if it's only going to be used by the recreation swim team and by recreation for Wayne County citizens, it wouldn't matter. So you do get into a cost benefit type situation here, and that's the reason why I said, if somebody out there has got $1 million lying around, they're just collecting dust, they'd like to take it, and then the county would be responsible for the maintenance.
I said they're still looking at possible grants. I said they believe there's some federal and state money out there that can go towards the funding of the pool. So that's what they've been looking at. I know Herschel was supposed to meet with Buddy Carter's representative down in Savannah, and talk to him. So, they're exploring all avenues, I promise you. They're looking for everything.
They're looking for anything and everything. It'd be nice to have a pool, but you've got to work it out.
Nothing's been decided. But like I said, the first, like I said, when I met with the staff that met the other day, I said, look, simple questions just need to be asked and answered. First of all, where are you going to build it? Second of all, what type are you going to build? Third, who's going to fund it? Fourth, what's it going to cost? All right. But nothing's been set in stone.
Nothing's been said. Yeah,
That's what he stressed. Nothing's been set in stone. Everything's in the discussion phase right now, and they're trying to explore every avenue possible to fund it, so it doesn't fall solely on the taxpayers. Like I said, they believe there's federal grant money, state grant money. Like I said, there might be a donor out there who just wants to donate it. Like I said, possibly have it named whatever pool. And like I said, if somebody's got $1 million, want to gladly name it whatever pool.
We'll gladly slap your name up
That's
there.
Right. We got some paint and some flags.
Yes, sir, man.
We'll be glad to name it the whatever pool if you have $1 million to help build it.
All right, let's go to some of the text here. Someone just texted in, all you need to do is to drive to Tifton when they have a swim meet, and you will see there's nowhere near enough parking around the Crack Williams Recreation Center to hold a competitive swim meet like they'd like to be able to do. According to this person right here, there's not near enough parking around the Crack Williams to be able to park everyone. If you've got, let's say, 15, 20 teams coming in with all the parents and the grandparents and the swimmers and all that, there's not near enough park around there to hold a major swim meet there. My word, the texts are coming in.
They held district swim meets there. Where did everybody park when they had district swim meets? That came from where? Jeff Davis, Applin.
I don't know.
Name it. So,
I don't know. I guess
it's been done in the past. So they're talking about building parking around the pool.
Yeah, things that have. I like the plans would have to be put out there.
I've been in that park where there's been packed with people.
Yeah.
So they had to park somewhere
on the side of the river, like it used to be when the Dogwood Festival was down there. Everybody just parked in people's yards and down the side of the streets and everywhere else. Because there's no parking at the Crack Williams Center. I mean, you can't. You can't park up in there.
Mike Deal's solved this parking situation. He's got the plan for the parking.
If he's got the plan, I'd like to see it. Okay, let's see where we can put several hundred cars. All right, here we go. Indoor pool. Okay, here we go. High school kids have been to swim meets outdoors in heated pools with air temperatures in the 30s. So they've been to swim meets where they are heated pools. It might be 30 degrees outside, but it's probably 60 something in the winter, I imagine.
There you
go. What about the Big Dog Country Community Pool? Well, Bob, I do have about 4 acres out here I could use.
You don't have $1 million.
I don't have $1 million though. Oh, let's see here. Indoor pool.
I think they have another pool meeting on the 30th. I got an invitation to the next pool meeting. I said they're real interesting meetings, like I said, but a lot of research has been done, a lot of studies have been done, a lot of, like I said, a lot of avenues on funding has been explored, and all those decisions, haven't been set in stone because nothing's been finalized. Like I said, there's still this sentiment. There's some people in the city who would like to see it remain where it was for many, many years, and they have a plan in place, or they have a plan in their mind where they can provide the parking and the facility and make it a nice downtown pool area.
Okay, someone just texted in. Indoor pool, best ideal, is the best ideal situation. That's what my high school, this is the person who texted in, what my high school had, and we swam year-round, and we had a dive team that was in Michigan. So somebody who's listening grew up in Michigan, was on the high school swim team up there, and they had an indoor pool. Of course, if you're up in Michigan, you better have an indoor pool.
I was going to say, it'd be hard to swim in January outside of Michigan, that's for sure.
You'd have to crack the ice to get in the pool. Oh, so the high school kids have been to swim meets outdoors in heated pools with temperatures in the 30s. Let's see here. Let's see here.
If pool doesn't go to this current, still the question is what's going to be done at the current site. Are they going to tear it down and build a brand new facility? Are they going to renovate it? Something needs to be done. That facility is very antiquated. So no matter if a pool goes there or not, something needs to be done with that area. So those decisions have to be made as well.
Yeah.
So what do you do? The city and county definitely have to have a joint meeting.
Well, the county has nothing to do with all that. The city owns the city owns the Crack Williams Recreation Center. They just turned it over to the county because it was used as a recreational facilities. Now that it's not a recreational facility anymore, the county says, "Hey, it's not a recreation anymore. We're going to send it back over to the city," because they're the ones that actually it was deeded to years ago. And also, what does that deed say? What if it's not used for the purposes it was given to them years ago?
Well, that's where the rub comes in. That's where the hard feelings take place. Because the counties, when the city gave it to the county, there's a pool there.
Right.
Now the county gave it back without a pool.
Hey, you should go wear a pool.
There's just some hard feelings. There's some tension between the city and the county right now that needs to be hashed out amongst those two boards. So
yeah, well, you said it right, Bob, in your sportscast with that quote from Cool Hand Lou. What we have here is failure to communicate.
And
I guess I don't know.
Hopefully they can get together and iron it all out.
Somebody says build the pool back like it was, and then build out at Bill Morris Park a big pool complex like Splash in the Borough to draw money to Wayne County that will draw in funds for years. So this person actually wants two pools, one like the one that was at the Bill Morris at Crack Williams Center, and a big pool complex out there at Bill Morris Park to draw in a bunch of folks.
How much money does that person have?
I don't know. Hey, he's got big ideas.
Right.
Big ideas.
It's always about the money.
All right, and somebody says, what about the country club pool? Well, that's privately owned, and that's for members out there, I guess. Oh, wait, golf balls. I like that. What about the country club pool? Oh, wait, golf balls. Yeah, you don't want to be in the pool when Bob Morgan's teeing off on number one.
I don't think I can hit the pool from there.
No, you can't.
I don't think the pool is not an issue at the country club with the golfers.
No, it's not. Is Bob going to be broadcasting any All-Star games?
We're working on that.
You're working on that. All right. Well, we're about out of time. We appreciate all you folks out there sending in these questions and comments about your ideas about a pool or pool complex here in Jessup and Wayne County.
We'll keep you posted. But like I said, the big story from the work session is that, and the sentiment is that there needs to be a meeting between the full county board and the full city board to discuss the Crack Williams Recreation Center and the pool issue.
Oh, that ought to be an interesting meeting.
That would be an interesting meeting.
Yeah, all those elected officials from the city and the county together there. I would, if I was them, I would definitely have the city manager and the city administrator come to some sort of plans before we just all came in there and just started throwing out the ideas back and forth. I mean, I could be very interesting because everybody's going to have their ideas on what should be done.
That's the way democracy works.
That's the way it works.
So, like
But it's better to have some sort of plan of action before you go into a free-for-all.
hopefully in the meantime, some funding issues will be addressed. Like I said, is there federal money out there? And like I said, until they get the answer no, they're going to seek that avenue. Is there state funding out there? Until they get the answer no, they're going to seek that avenue as well. So they're doing everything they possibly can as far as the funding issue goes.
Okay. You said the city manager, Mike Deal's working with Mike Roberts with the county. Is it because that the current county administrator is going to be leaving in the fall?
It's just they've been
because you got an appointed official.
They've just known each other for years. It's just a friendship that they've got.
Okay.
Two people get along and they have communication between. Right.
Okay. So I was wondering why you had an appointed official and an elected official working together. I guess
when you get along, you know.
But when you get two people get along, it's good to do that.
Right. So that's what I mean. They just have a good working relationship, and they've been in constant communication. So there has been some good communication between the city manager and the chairman of the county commission.
You like to see that good communication between the elected bodies here in Wayne County.
You just like them all to get along. That's
Can't we just all get along?
Just people different.
It's hard to get. It's hard for 4 or 5 people.
That's it. But
it's hard for 4 or 5 people in one household to get along, more or less that many people.
But again, I'll go back to what I told Herschel when I sat with him. There's simple questions that have to be answered before you move forward. There has to be a plan in place. Where is it going to be built? What type of pool are you going to build? How much does it cost? Who's funding it? Those are 4 questions that have to be answered before you can move forward with your plan.
And he probably knows that.
He knows that
well better than anybody else.
That's why he says nothing's in stone, because everything's in discussion phase at this point.
Okay. But all this could be helped out, folks. If you've got $1 million lying around that's just collecting dust and you'd like to donate it to the Wayne County Pool Fund, we'll put your name up there. We'll name the pool complex after you. And recreation could be used there for many years for swimming and for high school and piranhas.
If I win the lottery, we'll have money for the pool.
All right. So you win that $400 million, you'll donate $1 million for the pool.
The chances of that are slim none, because I have no luck.
And with that, we'll end the Butch and Bob show this morning.
If I were to win, I would help out.
All right, the world famous Butch and Bob show.